All right, reality rappers, we are back today and we're talking about some exciting premieres. The Golden Bachelorette just premiered, and Shawnee's going to give us all the scoop. Plus, Dancing with the Stars just premiered. And as usual, we have lots of Real Housewives news to talk about. So let's get into it.
Let the journey begin.
Kicking it off with the Golden Bachelorette, of course.
Oh, I've been waiting all summer for this. And based on what I saw on social media, everybody that is a Bachelor fan has been waiting all summer for this. There are a lot of people comparing the Bachelorette to the Golden Bachelorette, and they're saying that the Golden Bachelorette is like leaps and bounds better. And I'm sorry, but I have to agree with that. It's been pretty good.
And you love the Bachelorette, so if you agree,
I did.
I'm going to tune in. I really want to see this. And the men are, how adorable are these men?
They're so handsome.
So
handsome. And that was another overwhelming comment that viewers have made is like, how is it that Jen's men on The Bachelorette were like, eh? And like the men that Joan has to pick from, I honestly don't know how she's going to pick. I'm over here like, I love Pascal, the French guy. I love him. His accent sends me like to end. Kelsey's dad, Mark, love him. He's so classy and so handsome and sweet. There's a man named Charles on there that sat down and drank tea and had dessert with Joan. Love him. He's so fun. And then another guy named Jack that cooked for her. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. She's got her work cut out for her because these guys are going all the way in. And another big thing that I noticed that was different between the Bachelorette and the Golden Bachelorette that I wanted to point out and like really, really enjoy. The men don't try to like one up each other or push each other out of the way. Like I believe it was Keith that got the first impression rose. The other guys were congratulating him and high-fiving him and like cheers. And, when they were all, go ahead, say that. Go ahead.
That's the reaction I saw on social media that everybody's talking about, how the men are just so in it together. And there's a photo of them like hugging each other. And Shawnee, this is what grown men do, okay? This is how grown men behave.
Right.
They know, right? Because these are, first of all, they've grown, they were married, a lot of them divorced, they learned some things, they're healed from their traumas, it's like a whole different ball game, and I love everything about this, and I will be watching. For who do you have a front runner already, like a one?
I mean, I already saw the spoilers.
I was just going to say, by the way, you probably saw the spoilers. I know everybody wants Kelsey's dad to win. I guess
we do. But you know what? I don't want him to win.
Okay.
Because I want him to be the next Golden Bachelor. Like, I like him like that. I want more of Kelsey's dad.
You want to see more. So Joan is going to miss out because you want to see more of this man, huh?
I mean, whatever.
Men are just so...
it's already off to a great start. Like, I feel like this season is going to redeem everything that came out of The Bachelorette, which also I wanted to talk about because, last week or several days ago, rather, Reality Steve dropped a big bombshell about Devin Strader and this restraining order and arrest and all this trauma with an ex-girlfriend that, like, quite honestly, like, how did producers miss this? And Devin spoke out today, actually,
I saw that.
And put out a statement and said that it's not what it seems. It's being like, misconstrued, and he's basically being dragged through the mud, and that the restraining order was never actually granted. So who knows? Personally, I would like to see his ex-girlfriend speak out and set the record straight, because I feel like there's two sides to every story every time, which I feel like we kind of learned about last time Devin spoke out, which was really short-lived.
Mess. He needs to get off social media.
Well, I wish he had just stood on it and left it there and just been like, F your feelings. These are the receipts. Because honestly, when I was reading through the screenshots, which were personal, I mean, it was their personal conversation. It felt very much like, I mean, maybe he was the one that broke up with her and he was the one that called it off, but it felt very mutual. And like, she even said in it, like, we're getting, like, when she texted him right before after the final rose and was just like, I still care about you and all that mess. and then went on after the final rose and just ran him through the mud. So
yeah, but I also, if I was Jen, I'm not messaging you to be like, oh, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. You're grown adults, and this is what you've done to yourself. Jen is too nice, and Jen, this is why she keeps choosing these men. You don't need to be messaging him and be like,
at all.
And then look, he has your business all over social media. Like, don't show publicly. Even if I said the word hi to you, do not post my public message to you anywhere ever. It doesn't matter what. That's so rude.
I mean, but also like it cleared up a lot of stuff. I feel like, yes, it was their private messages, but like it very much contradicted a lot of the things that she said on after the final.
Oh, it did?
Right. It made it really, because she was just like, we're never, let's get along or whatever, but we're not getting back together. To that effect. It wasn't like crazy, but it really made it seem like they weren't really on that bad of terms. He's not really the super villain or whatever. And like what you said, she really is a bad picker, because she had Devin with this restraining order nonsense as her winner, and she had Marcus Schoberg as her runner-up, and the claims that came out about him right around the end were pretty shocking too. Like,
but also Shawnee,
Sam McKinney also, like, just garbage men. Like, she could have, I don't know.
Yeah, but also even in this situation, Jen didn't have great pickings, and it's because of the producers, because the producers are the one that where did they find these random men who just want some social media fame? These men are not ready for marriage, because they're gonna come on reality TV, they're gonna start getting DMs and attention from women they never got attention from before, and now they want to be single because they want to respond to the DMs. They're not ready for marriage. We need older, more mature men who are ready for marriage.
And that's why the Golden shows are so much better.
Yeah, even though Jerry fell through the Jerry thought he was 23 again and was just ready for the streets after. But normally when you're older, you're in a better place, ready, settled down, not easily fazed by every woman that walks your way. So yeah, a lot has been happening on Bachelor Nation. Is there gonna be a Bachelor? What was the next Bachelor show that usually comes when they're on the island dating? What's
Bachelor
that one called?
in Paradise is not going to air in 2024, but it will be back in 2025.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing is, after the final rose, they announced that Jonathan would be the first cast member on Bachelor in Paradise, and then Hakeem Moulton was going to be there with him. So Jonathan is now hanging out with Jen, and I'm not sure yet if it's a love connection, if it's just friends, like the whole Hannah Brown, Tyler Cameron thing.
Yeah.
But if they end up making a love connection, we may not see him on Paradise. And I mean, honestly, I'm kind of hoping that Jen and Jonathan will just...
They're adorable. I saw a photo of them today and I was like, that's cute. They're cute. But I think they're probably friends for now, because it's so soon for her to just move on. So probably they're taking it very, very slow, which is good. But I see them as an adorable match.
I agree, but like, come on, guys, give us what we want.
I'm gonna give it, Shawnee. They're just taking their time because I mean, they're both
very busy right now. She's got Dancing with the Stars. She's rehearsing all day, every day. So
but transitioning to dance.
Fantastic job. Like,
I missed her dance. I saw some of the others. I saw Joey's. Joey did well.
She and Joey both did excellent. Like, I was very, very impressed.
I was like, he doesn't look nervous. He's not tense. His hips are moving. Like, what?
And he was talking about like he was nervous and he was so shy, but
before he's like, yeah. Joey was moving those hips like nervous, shy. What he did?
I know, right?
So well. However, because my girl, I'm a Housewives junkie.
I know.
Because my girl Phaedra Parks is on the show, obviously I'm rooting for Phaedra to win. I don't care about anybody else.
I mean, she did a fantastic job too, and she looked phenomenal. Like,
the hips, the booty. I was like, the
I'm
booty.
not surprised. I'm not surprised. Now, Phaedra's not shy, and I don't think she was nervous. So,
and I think she's gonna get better as time goes on. I really wish I could vote. Every year I try voting, even though I know it's out of my geographic location, and every year they're like, "We're sorry." Then don't let me watch it, ABC.
I'll throw her some votes for you.
Please do, because don't vote for anybody else, Shawnee. Give Phaedra all of your votes.
I gotta throw some to Jen and Joey too. Like, they're doing excellent. I got to give it to, especially Jen. I actually was reading through one of those the over under, like what the odds of who's gonna win and whatnot based on the size of their social media and their fan base and stuff. And this is like the first year in a really long time that Jen wasn't even in the top half. And I was like, that is a testament to how badly her season went, because in the past, the Bachelorette stars have won the show. Hannah Brown won. And
they're always up there.
Charity didn't win, but she did amazing. Why
did I think Charity is the only person I remember from first season?
Like, they have Bachelor and Bachelorette stars on a lot, and they usually do very, very well.
Yeah.
So for Jen to be like, forecast as like not even in the middle of the pack or barely in the middle of the pack, I was like, she needs help. Like,
also, Jen was the last, when I was reading, because when I saw the photos go out, I was like, why does Jen's photo look like she took a selfie? And then they were saying she just got the news, like she was the last person cast on the show.
She was the last person cast. They literally told her after the final rose and then flew to LA.
Right. So she didn't have much time to prepare and all of that. So we have to give her credit. I saw a photo, she looked adorable, but I missed her dance.
Her dance was good. She did.
I can't sit through the whole thing because if I don't know some of them, I just change the channel and then I forget.
But I sit through it, so
I forget what I'm watching.
Sat through it twice.
No, I cannot. I'm just like, who is this part? By the way, what do you think? There's a big thing because everybody is mad that Anna Delvey is on the show with her foot monitor thing. How do you feel? Do you think she should not have been on the show?
I don't care. They cast somebody controversial every single year. Every year. And usually it's somebody that's either been arrested or had like some sort of weird charges or like huge scandals. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, they had a football player that had like a child abuse scandal. I would rather have Anna Delvey on there
over the child abuser.
Right. And honestly, I think it's kind of hilarious that they blinged out her ankle monitor. They're not being shy about any of it, and she did a good job. So
yeah, she did. She's also, what annoys me about Anna is that she's very likable. Like every time I see her in an interview, I'm like, why do I like you?
And that's why she was so successful in her scams, because she's very likable. The thing is though, like, I don't think she has I don't think she has the chance to win it. I don't think she's even going to get halfway through. She doesn't have the
voting for her. Does she have fans to like vote?
Not like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really think it was like a casting to like kind of like put her out there and to get everybody talking.
And they're talking.
They're not gonna win it. So, they're screaming. Like, people are mad. And I'm just
it was funny when they were doing the introductions. In my mind, I'm like, how are they going to introduce Anna? And I was just waiting, and then they were like, fashionista Anna Delvey. I was like, oh,
is that what they said?
I was waiting, because I'm like, what are they gonna
con artist Anna Delvey?
They were like fashionista Anna Delvey. I was like, I don't know why it cracked me up so much.
Right. And you know what? With her on Dancing with the Stars, now that show about her, was it a movie, I guess, on Netflix featuring Julia Garner? It's trending now. So
that movie was so
she did good. A great job. She did a great job.
She did.
I mean, I have to watch it again.
Excellent. Me too. I think I'm gonna watch it because Anna doesn't get proceeds from this movie, does she?
I don't believe
before I watch it again. Okay.
Sure. I mean, I believe she was paid to like give information. I don't know. Who knows?
But if she's getting a dime, I will not watch it again.
I don't even care. Let her have the money. She's gonna need it.
Shawnee, I don't care. Where's all the money she stole from these rich people? Where's that money? Where is it?
She had to pay restitution and she paid it, and she did her time in prison.
How much more time?
I mean, it's not like she's out there doing the stuff that like Diddy is doing.
I agree.
Don't care.
I agree. Also,
I don't care.
I really don't care. You know, when I was watching it, I was like, well, at least she wasn't stealing from the poor. She was
There
stealing
you
from a
go. There
bunch
you
of
go. And there's plenty of
pretentious
people.
rich people who thought they were just and so highty-tighty. Honestly,
Right.
I get that it's a crime, but to be honest with you, you allow this woman to scam you because you're so pretentious, then
And so be it.
Yeah,
So be it.
So,
Whatever.
yeah.
She put it all on my cards.
Do it on the
Give me back that money, please.
Why are you being like this? So dramatic.
Welcome to New York, New Jersey. Kiss my ass.
Poke the bear. You're not gonna like who you say.
House of Villains that's coming back soon
Right.
with Teresa Giudice from
That's
Real
right.
Housewives of New Jersey.
Who's trying to be all proud she's the villain.
And she's going against Tiffany New York Pollard.
Again,
Queen.
because she's like the queen of the villains.
You know, as much as we're hyping up Teresa, I don't think Teresa is going to get far, win this game. I think Jersey fans are hyping her up because
Of course, because they're Jersey fans. And, right.
I don't see her as like this huge competitor, as like this big.
She's not conniving and, dare I say it, smart enough.
Shawnee, I agree. Don't tell anybody I said that.
No,
don't
please
tell the
don't
tray
tell me.
huggers.
Come for me in the comments. I don't
I
care.
said
Teresa is not that intelligent. She's not able to do this.
She's not
Teresa
witty.
on New Jersey, she intimidates people because she's loud and obnoxious
Throw
and she
things,
let
get
things go.
violent. Yeah.
Right. But on a show where they can just vote you off,
Yeah. You're
Bye.
gone. Yeah.
right.
And
So I don't think she'll make it.
And if they don't vote you off, it's because they don't think you're a threat. You're just there. So nobody
Right.
cares enough to vote you off yet. But I
Right.
don't think, I mean, they're hyping it up and saying Teresa first. Tiffany knows how to make a reality show. So I think they're going to do what they do. Right. And the producers
Tiffany
are gonna-
is equally loud and obnoxious, and she'll use the same tactics as Teresa, but she's also cunning and
Yes,
smart,
she's
and she's
smart.
going to strategize and do it in a way that Teresa never could.
Exactly. So unless Teresa aligns herself with somebody good, and she's also not smart enough to align herself with somebody good, I don't like. We can have the Trey huggers are gonna watch, and they're gonna. But honestly, let's stop pretending like this is some big mastermind who can outwit her opponents, because
Right.
you know this ain't Jersey, honey. Nobody's scared of Teresa.
Nobody.
No, outside of the Jersey cast. Okay, so but I'm gonna be watching because I enjoyed the last season. I think Johnny Bananas was on it. I just remember him and Tiffany. It was a good season, and I felt like they did everything in their power to vote Tiffany off. And I felt like the producers were like, "No, we can't let her go yet," because they kept leaving her. It was so weird. I'm like, "Is Tiffany still here?"
I think that they would too, like quickly, like just get her out of here so that we can play.
Like we cannot, they're like, no, you're not voting her off tonight, babies. It was hilarious. So I will be tuning in. We have, so Housewives. I know you're not loving what's going on the Real Housewives of Orange County, but let me just say that after being tortured for several seasons because it was so bad and I still had to watch it, I am loving.
I agree with that.
I'm loving it.
I guess my big complaint, and they do it on Housewives all the time, like remember Puppygate on Beverly Hills and all that, is like they take a drama and they beat it to death.
Yeah.
And this Alexis versus Shannon thing, it's the only thing that I've even heard about. Oh, like if anything else happened, who knows?
No.
Because all anybody talks about is Alexis versus Shannon, and then everybody's arguing about Alexis. Like they're making their whole storyline about whose side they're on, who's sticking up for who's friends with who, and it's like, do you have anything better?
Shawnee, I've been counting. There has not been one episode. We're going into episode 11 tonight. For the past 10 episodes, Alexis has mentioned Shannon and John in every episode.
It's all she's got. I mean, it's why they brought her back. It's why she's there. Like, be real.
So she was saying that she's upset because they filmed so many other things and it was all cut out because her mom had just died when she came into filming, and I guess she talked about other things. But of course they edit. She's not a full-time housewife.
It's not going to give you ratings. Who cares? Like,
and also you're not full-time, so we're not seeing your full story. So that's all. But also
does she understand she's she's there to drive ratings with the Shannon drama. That's
And
it. Like,
that's
oh.
and that's what she's been doing. And by the way, I need Bravo viewers to get a grip. Like, I wish I could sit down, everybody, and just please stop saying, please, I beg of you, stop saying that Alexis needs to be fired or Tamra needs to be fired. They do not. Every show needs a villain. Every show needs a protagonist. If they were not, it would be, what else would we be talking about? Nothing else has happened except paparazzi gate with newbie Katie, who I love, by the way. I think Katie needs to let go of this paparazzi thing, but I think she's a perfect addition. We're just not getting a lot about her because she's so...
Alexis and Shannon are overshadowing all of it.
But
and I mean, as far as Tamra being fired, is Tamra a great friend? No, she's a terrible friend. That's what makes it good TV. And if there wasn't anything there, then we would be all talking about how boring she was. So
honestly, I feel like OC has a perfect cast right now. However, you're not gonna like this, but I don't care. I'm standing firm. If I were to remove anybody from the cast, it would be Emily and Gina.
You're my favorite.
I know. But here's the thing, Shawnee. They've been on for 6 seasons and they've given us nothing. I mean, here's the thing. When Gina and Emily, especially Gina, when Gina leaves the show, we will not remember anything that Gina did on the show. Think about it. But there hasn't been a funny moment
for Emily, because you know Emily is my girl.
Yeah, I know you love it. That's why I eased into it gently. And by the way, I love Emily. I do. I just kind of feel like if this was any other franchise, Gina and Emily wouldn't have gotten more than like a season or 2.
No, because Gina's broke. Like, what are you doing on Real Housewives? There's nothing
Shawnee,
fancy about you. But you know why I love that they're still there? What's her name? That chick that got fired like a couple seasons ago.
Noella?
No.
The rich girl?
No.
Another Jen? Bronwyn?
No.
So many people got fired. Everybody was...
No. The political one. You know, what's her name? I'm drawing
Ellie Dodd?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Ellie Dodd is furious.
Yes.
That Gina and Emily have stuck around longer than her. And
I know. She's not happy. She's like, can you believe it? They're so... It's true. No,
everybody... so boring. Well, what does that make you?
Right?
Not there.
The controversy didn't make you keep it. It's weird. I will say it's weird. I feel like for so long, Orange County, I always call the poor man's housewife. I just feel like, please do not have me watching TV and seeing somebody living a worse life than I am. That's not what I want. Why I watch Housewives, Shawnee.
If you think that's bad, you should have seen where some of the Real Housewives of Dallas lived around here. Like the houses they lived in. Like I could have been on the show then. Like,
but Shawnee, that's my problem. I can go look at my neighbor. I can go look in the mirror if I want to see people struggling.
Right. If you all live in an apartment, you don't get to be on the show.
Right. Like even Kelly Dodd recently said it. She's like, what? Gina lives in an apartment in a casino with 6 kids. What do I need to want?
Yeah, that's crazy. There's no way.
Shawnee, that is why they needed Heather. And I feel like last year when they tried to go at Heather, the producers probably sat them down and be like, look, we're not going to do this. We need Heather. If it wasn't for Heather, it would have just been so pathetic, which it has been. I'm not watching. The real middle class housewives. Like, what is going on? Stop it. And by the way, I love Jen Pedranti. The difference with Jen is perfect. Here's the difference with Jen. Although Jen is not rich, Jen has been married to rich men. She's been a kept woman all her life. So now we're watching her struggle and trying to figure out as an adult how to be an adult. But you can still feel wealth and privilege from her because she's so she doesn't know
like the Erica Jane of the OC.
Right. She's a kept woman. So she doesn't need to be rich because she gonna find a rich man. So
right.
There needs to be some
sprinkle, right?
Right. There needs to be some element of wow. Ooh, look at their lives. Right. I've never wowed her. Ooh. And also, I think they brought Emily because Emily is a attorney. Emily is not a practicing attorney. I've never seen one law-based anything from Emily. I love her family. I think she's cute. All right. Okay, Shawnee, fine. Let's keep Emily, but can we just kiss goodbye to Gina then? We'll keep.
If you had to pick one to go, okay.
Yeah, you know what it is? People are grouping them together all the time. So that's
because they came together, they're always together.
Right. They're friends. People love Emily. Listen, the audiences love it. They're like, she's so funny. People are loving Emily, to be honest. I don't know if she's gonna go anywhere, but Gina. And I like them. Well,
I mean, I like Gina, but
you get what I'm saying. And also you've been
off of like best friends. It's Real Housewives,
right? And also give me something. And even Kelly said it. I hate to quote Kelly Dodd again, but here we are. This is what Gina has done to me. Kelly was like, they don't go on fabulous trips. There's nothing that makes you ooh wow.
Neither does she.
I need to ooh wow. No, it's actually her prancing about visit. She travels. I mean, you know what I mean? She has a little something. And also she was controversial. Meaning I would remember her screaming in people's faces and acting up. She's memorable. Guarantee you when Gina goes to BravoCon, nobody knows who Gina is. It's one of those. I'm sorry. But think about it, Shawnee. Much less when she's gone 2 years later, we will not remember. That's my only gripe.
Probably not. And that's if you've been on the show that long.
You've been on for 6 years and there's still nothing that would make us say. Remember that time when Gina said this or did that?
Right. And I mean, I believe that was what the argument really was, and what they've been on the show for 6 seasons. And what have they done that's iconic? Like, we're still quoting Nene, and she's not been on the show for like 6 seasons.
I know.
You know?
I know they're going to be on for longer time than some of the iconic housewives. They're going to have this thing where like, oh, I made it for 7 seasons, but she did nothing. And I just
like I'm forever quoting like Ramona and Dorinda and Nene and like
Countess Luann, all of them, Shawnee. Even Heather, who we always call Fancy Pants because she acted so up. You remember something.
Right.
They had this thing about them, and I'm not getting that.
Right. You're right.
Would I watch a separate show with Emily and Gina? Real Housewives, with like a realtor show of them being best buds or going to Crappy Lake? Sure. Best friend show, but not Housewives where it's supposed to be glamorous, and that's all I'm saying.
I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll give you that. But I do love them.
Yeah, I know. I actually like them too, to be honest. They're adorable. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives. Not me calling them the Real Housewives of Mormon Wives.
That's what it is. That was way better than the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, to me, is like the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but Gen Z version.
It's like what they wanted or what they should have aimed for instead of whatever we're getting.
But Johnny, you know what surprised me? Tell me why I thought these grown women were 35, 40. They're all in their 20s.
They're young.
Is 30.
They're really young.
Like, they've lived lives I've never lived. They're getting divorced.
Well, you know what happened with them is they all capitalized on TikTok back during the pandemic when everybody was dancing on TikTok and blew up and then turned it into a business. And now they've got like this friend group business thing where they don't all get along. And of course, you know, they've got that whole thing that dynamic going on where like some of them are hating on others because they don't like it that some are more famous than others and some make of course.
The Whitney girl, Shawnee. I saw this girl come on screen and I thought to myself, she looks familiar. And then it hit me. Whitney was the girl in the hospital dancing while her sick child laid. Shawnee, that's all I see now when I see Whitney.
A lot.
Me. My child is in the hospital.
And her kids like sitting there with like tubes and stuff. Like, what?
I will never get over this. I will never. The most insane. And then it was like, when I saw, because she looks older on the show, and I was like, they're young, but because they're Mormons, they got married from like in their teens and they started having kids early. Thus why they have 3 kids, married for how many years, divorced. So it was kind of a mind thing for me because I'm like, wait, this one is 23.
So you're not Team Whitney then, huh?
Absolutely not. No, ma'am.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I love Taylor. Like, I can't help but love Taylor.
I love Taylor too. I like Taylor. Yeah.
That girl's wild. Like, she is I'm surprised that she hasn't been excommunicated from the church yet. She's wild.
But does she actually go to a lot of them are not practicing Mormons. Her mom seems to be
That's
the church.
one of the things that they all argue about, though, is who's the most Mormon.
Most Mormon. I don't think she goes to church weekly. I think it's only the Jen Affleck girl who's trying to convince us that she's related to Ben Affleck.
Jen Affleck, who's related to Ben Affleck.
By the way, do you know that on Reddit? Do you know on Reddit they're saying that they did like a thing and they cannot find the connection between him and Ben Affleck? And they were saying, why would you lie about something that can be easily?
Well, I hope she didn't marry that guy because he said he was related to Ben, because he's a hot mess. Like,
that's what somebody said. They're like, I wonder if he told her that when they met and just didn't.
And she just runs with it. Right.
He is. But
he's controlling and rude and honestly not cute. And I'm just looking at him like, what is like?
And also, she's the breadwinner. I don't understand that. And she's the breadwinner.
The women are all the breadwinners now because they make so much on TikTok. Like,
in what world?
Into so much.
Shawnee, in what world am I sending you to school and you talk to me like that? Like,
new.
Where did you find the audacity?
Right? Like, I'm not asking you for permission, but that's the culture, and that's just how they were raised, and it's everything that they know. And I think that that's really why there's so much drama, really, because in that culture, that Mormon culture, it's not normal for the woman to be the breadwinner. And so now we've got these young women, moms, making more than the husbands, and like, can the husband take it? Are they? So, do they have enough confidence to like handle the fact that their women are making more than them? And how are the women going to handle it? Because they're supposed to be submissive and subservient.
Yeah,
and
they're not.
I'm sorry, but if I'm the one bringing in the bread, I'm not going to be submissive and subservient. I'm the boss.
Like I'm not. No. We're not doing this old time traditional thing.
Absolutely not. So,
there's a connection between one of the husbands and Salt Lake City. One of them. Current husband was married to a Salt Lake City husband.
I'm not surprised.
It's in the new season.
It's not that big of a community, really. It's
Angie, but I don't think it's this Angie. I think it was the other Angie. I think her first husband is now married to one of the because Lisa mentioned it and she was like,
it's weird because those girls are young.
That's what I'm saying. So what is this creepy man doing with these? But that's how it is.
That's pretty acceptable in that.
You know what's shocking? I mean, so they're all over social media and they're really milking it now because every 2 seconds there's a new TikTok video. But I will say, don't you find it strange that they haven't been renewed for season 2 yet? After all the
but I've heard rumors that they will be. I've even heard rumors that it's already filmed and just waiting to like.
No, it's not filmed because I saw an interview with them and they're like, no, we're still waiting to find out. We don't know. And they were like saying, they need to see these later. I think they're trying to put out videos to convince the network to renew them.
Right. Yeah. And that's really the most surprising thing about this, because I watched that series through twice. When I really like a reality show, I
love to watch things. 2 is your lucky number.
Well, yeah, because you miss things. So I did. I went through and watched it. I binged it, and then immediately the next day I binged it all again. I was like a weekend of Mormon Wives.
I binged it in a day too. It was so good.
And my biggest takeaway was like, I'm shocked that more people aren't watching it because it was really that good.
But how many people are watching it?
The Real Housewives viewers haven't tuned in because it was really that good. And I'm wondering if it's just an issue of because it's on Hulu. And I guess everybody doesn't have Hulu.
No, but why do you think a lot of people aren't watching it? I feel like a lot of people are watching it. I think all over social media, and they've done interviews with everybody. They were on Nick Val's show.
I saw that.
They're on every.
But try writing about it. Nobody's looking that up. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but also, and you know what would be a good story, because Jen Affleck, her family spoke out and bashed her like the guy's family. The dude, and he was like, that's not the truth. Hulu tricked us and told her that this was going to be a family show about whatever. And
of course they did.
Jen made her husband look bad on TV. They went.
I mean, it was a family show, but they're not going to like, drama, we're going to just edit that out. Like,
they said they got tricked into signing to do the show.
Anything you do and say on camera is going to be used. If it's good.
Also, they didn't edit anything in to make your son look bad. So whatever we're seeing, he said and did.
As Jen Tran said about her season of The Bachelorette, if you said it on camera, they're not making you say it.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
sorry.